it's Ollie the Tea Guru, and today I'm going to be tasting some Qilan Yancha Oolong cha. Alright, so I've got here a load of it. I've had this in stock for a year. Doesn't seem to be selling too well. I think that's the reason for that is that I'm selling it too cheap. Anyway, let's chuck some of this in. Ideally with oolong cha, you want to be using a small vessel. I have smashed all my small, that's quite a lot of leaf there actually. I've smashed all my small guy ones. The lids, they tend to smash. Beautifully expressive from the dry leaf. So I haven't tasted this tea in probably about a year actually, and I don't remember too much about it, so I can tell you the roast is just beautiful. Sometimes with oolong tea, the cheaper ones, the roast can be off, you know, and that's just down to the craft. A lot of it's down to the craft, because actually roasting this stuff up can be unpredictable if you don't know what you're doing. So the guys who roast this, I wouldn't say it's a dying art, but there is definitely less oolong cha roasting going on compared to the past. And I think that might be changing now a little bit, because greener oolongs, like greener Tai Guan Yin, isn't as popular as it was a few years ago. So what do? They need to roast that stuff up so that they can create a different product when the fresh stuff doesn't sell. Anyway, the roast smells fantastic. And probably my favourite part of oolong tasting is the aroma of the rinse. The dry leaf aroma was beautiful, but let's see what it smells like from the rinse. Rinse is gone. Okay, let's go. You know what? This actually reminds me kind of a danchong, like a heavy roast danchong. It's got those florals in there. Florals, and it's got that kind of citrus twist that you get in some heavy roast danchongs. Beautiful roast. I can tell already without even tasting it. If you're wondering what a cheaper roast will taste like, imagine burnt notes. Imagine if you're from the UK or Australia, you'll know Marmite or Vegemite. Okay, so guys who don't know what that is, Marmite or Vegemite is like a yeast extract that you put on toast. And I find that cheaper oolongs that have not been roasted well sometimes put off this kind of Marmite, deep yeasty smell or taste. Beautiful. All right, infusion one. I like to go quite hard with Yancha, Da Hong Pao, Da Hong Po, potato. I like to go quite hard, so I like to go quite long steeps. It's much more expressive. I know this stuff is quite expensive, but you can string out the tea and get more infusions if you so wish, but you're kind of missing the point. You're missing the beauty. If you can enhance the beauty by pushing the tea out, I'd rather have less infusions and have some wow moments. And if you ask me, tea is all about wow moments. Let's see if we can get a wow moment with this Qilan Yancha. Okay, here's something, and I've mentioned this before. Can you see the green tint in the leaf? Now this is because this tea hasn't been fully processed, okay? The the roasting has been held back. So what you'll find with an oolong that has had its its roasting held back is it will be slightly more green. Look, there's pros and cons to both. You'll find with, of course, with the lesser roasted oolong is that you're going to have more nuances, more of that initial flavour. And if you haven't actually tasted an unroasted Da Hong Po, in fact, I have an unroasted Yancha in stock that you can taste and actually see what it tastes like before they roast it, and it's actually quite tasty. Wow, I just had a sip of this and it is absolutely booming. I think I actually pushed it a little bit too hard. So what am I getting? I probably let this steep for about 15 seconds. So close to the edge of wanted astringency. So very expressive flavour coming through. Those tangerine notes. Almost a buttery finish, but very explosive flavour. Don't need to go so hard on this one, so maybe you can start off with 10-second infusions, 8 seconds. You're still getting a very nice blast. If you like your tea very robust, push it out 15 seconds. You'll be very, very happy. So infusion 1, the astringency levels are pretty high, very tolerable. They're not unwanted. So very powerful astringency, quite thick mouthfeel, smooth. Those citrus notes are really pushing through with that beautiful buttery roasted finish. Slamming tea. Infusion 2, going for it. Wonderful liquor. Das lecker, as they say in Belgium. Yeah, so I mean, you know, if I was tasting this blind, I would honestly assume this is a danchong, a very high level danchong. It's just so powerful with those citrus notes. I wouldn't expect something like this ordinarily coming out of Wuyi at all. It just goes to show that Wuyi definitely has an array of aroma profiles that you can taste, and of course Yancha Oolong having some very beautiful teas. So with this infusion, I actually scaled down the brewing. So I did about 8 seconds, and I got to say, if you want that kick, go for the 15-second infusion. But for me, I think 8 seconds is where it's out. It's powerful enough. The texture is much more, well, the texture was always smooth on the first infusion. I just couldn't really notice it because of all the powerful aromas coming through. But really, I can really notice it now, pulling back on the brewing times. A very nice and soft Yancha. So cheaper oolongs will have less desired qualities and more flaws. What can I point out flaw-wise in this particular tea? I cannot point out any flaws at all. It's a beautiful representation. That buttery finish is beautiful, and it just goes to show that holding back on the full roast has preserved that character. Would the citric notes come through if this was fully roasted? I don't think so. It would just be a very powerful, albeit very nice roasted flavour. But with the scaled back processing, we get a different beast. So if you like your complex oolongs, this is where it's at. It's a goodie. All right, 5 infusions on, and this tea is still putting out a beautiful flavour. Mouthfeel still very nice. I've got this clinging astringency. The citrus still hanging on my palate. Yeah, so a really good Yancha to try at, if you go and look at it, not a very high price whatsoever. In fact, there are people selling this tea for nearly double what I'm selling it at. Grab some up at the teaguru.co.uk website. Until then, much love, happy cupping. The boss. So yeah, I'm on, I'd say currently on infusion maybe 18, 19, 20, that kind of area.